The cry that cut through the smoke, the wind blew across the ruined city. Broken buildings leaned like tired giants. The air was thick with smoke and dust. Nothing moved. Nothing lived here. At least, that's what Cole believed. He walked carefully, his boots crunching over metal and shattered glass. Cole was a human scavenger. He searched old war zones on alien planets to collect tech and sell it. Today he was alone, like always. Suddenly he stopped. A sound. So soft. Like a whisper. Like a baby crying far away. Cole turned his head, listening. Hard. There it was again, a cry. Not human, but high-pitched. Weak. Afraid. He looked around. Is someone there? He called. No answer. Just silence and smoke. Cole's heart beat faster. Most humans avoided this place. Monsters were said to live in the fog, creatures that ate anything that moved. But the cry, it wasn't a monster's growl. It was a child. A small one. He moved quickly now, following the sound. His gear clanked as he ran through debris and twisted metal. The air grew warmer and the smoke thicker. Something had burned here recently. Then, he saw her. A tiny alien child. She was crouched under a broken transport shell, no more than 4 feet tall. Her skin was pale blue and her big black eyes were full of fear. Her arms were wrapped around her knees and she rocked slightly. Cole knelt down slowly. It's okay, he said in a calm voice. I won't hurt you. She didn't move. I'm human, he added. You're safe. The girl blinked once. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Cole carefully slid closer. Are you alone? He asked. She finally nodded. Cole's throat tightened. Where's your family? She looked down and pointed toward the east, toward the thickest smoke. He understood. They were gone. Maybe burned. Maybe worse. Do you have a name? She touched her chest and whispered something. Tali. Cole gave a small smile. Tali. I'm Cole. She stared at him. Then slowly she reached out and touched his glove. That small touch broke something in him. Cole gently picked her up. She was cold, light. Her clothes were torn. Her feet were bare. Then he heard it. A growl, low, deep, and close. He froze. The smoke around them shifted, and something stepped forward, tall, with long arms and eyes like fire. It wasn't fully clear. It looked like a shadow come alive. Tali buried her face in Cole's chest. The creature stepped closer. Cole backed away slowly, holding Tali tight. The creature sniffed the air. Then came a second sound, another growl from behind, then another. They were surrounded. Cole looked around. There was no clear path, but he remembered something, an old tunnel nearby. He had seen it earlier while scavenging. Maybe they could reach it. Tali, he whispered, we're going to run. Hold on to me, okay? She nodded silently. Then, Cole ran. Smoke rushed past him as he dodged rubble and broken walls. The growls grew louder. The monsters were following. Fast. Too fast. He saw the tunnel entrance, a round hole in a wall half covered by trash and metal plates. He reached it, ducked and slid inside. The tunnel was dark, cold, but safe, for now. Cole panted, trying to catch his breath. Tali was still in his arms, shaking but quiet. He pulled out a small light from his belt and turned it on. The tunnel stretched deep into the earth. Strange marks covered the walls. Alien symbols. Cole didn't care. We're okay, he said softly. They can't follow us in here. But Tali looked back at the tunnel's mouth and shook her head. Then she said a word, one word. Mama. Cole looked at her surprised. Your mother? He asked. She nodded again. Then she pointed forward, deeper into the tunnel. Cole stared into the darkness. He didn't come here to be a hero. He just wanted scrap. some parts to sell. A quiet life. But now a little girl was in his arms, whispering for her mother in the middle of a monster-infested war zone, and somehow he couldn't leave her. He stood up. "Okay, Tali. We'll find your mama." From deep in the tunnel, a distant sound echoed. A cry. A scream. Cole tightened his grip on the light and started walking toward it. Surrounded by monsters, the tunnel was quiet. Too quiet. Cole moved slowly, holding Tali close to his chest. His small light lit the way, casting long shadows on the tunnel walls. The deeper they went, the stranger the place felt. Symbols glowed faintly on the sides. Soft blue lines like old writing. Maybe it was a warning. Maybe it was a map. Cole didn't know. All he knew was that something was watching. Tali stayed silent, her tiny arms wrapped around his neck. Her breath was warm on his shoulder, but her body was still shaking. "Don't worry," Cole whispered, more to himself than her. "We're safe now." But he didn't believe it. Behind them, the wind howled through the tunnel mouth. A low growl came again, closer this time. Then a second growl, then a third. Cole stopped walking. He turned slowly. Eyes, red, glowing, watching. Shapes moved in the dark, crawling along the walls and ceiling. They weren't just monsters, they were hunters. Fast, smart, hungry. Tali whimpered. Cole pulled his sidearm from its holster. Just one old plasma pistol, half-charged. Useless against a pack, he backed up slowly, deeper into the tunnel. The creatures didn't attack. They waited. That scared him more. Then he noticed something strange. The glowing blue symbols on the wall. They pulsed. Softly. Like a heartbeat. And the closer he walked, to them the more the monsters stayed back. Tali raised her head and touched the symbols with her tiny fingers. The glow brightened, and the monsters stopped. They didn't growl. They didn't move forward. Cole stared. "What is this place?" he asked. Tali looked up at him with big eyes. Then she whispered, "Home." He blinked. "Home?" She nodded. Cole looked around again. The walls weren't made of metal like the rest of the city ruins. They were older, smooth, like stone shaped by machines long gone. "You lived here?" he asked softly. Tali pointed forward again. She didn't say it, but Cole knew what she meant. Her mother was deeper inside. He took a deep breath and moved forward again, keeping the pistol ready. The creatures stayed at a distance, hidden in the shadows, watching. Minutes passed. Then the tunnel opened into a large underground chamber. Cole's light revealed what looked like an old alien shelter. Rusted machines lined the walls. Beds, chairs, and broken tech were scattered everywhere. In the center was a cage. Cole stepped closer, and his heart sank. A figure lay curled inside. An alien woman, bigger than Tali, with the same pale blue skin. Her hair was matted, her arms were chained. Her body was thin, bruised, and shaking. Tali gasped and jumped from Cole's arms. She ran to the cage bars. "Mama!" The woman lifted her head. Her eyes widened. "Tali?" she whispered, her voice dry and cracked. Cole hurried to the cage. The mother tried to move, but collapsed. Cole grabbed the bars. "I'll get you out." But the cage was locked by a strange alien mechanism. No keyhole, just glowing lines like the ones on the tunnel walls. He turned to Tali. "Can you open it?" She placed her hand on the lock. It glowed. Then, a deep rumble shook the ground. From the shadows, a roar. A huge creature stepped into the chamber. Its head brushed the ceiling. Its arms were long and sharp. It looked like a nightmare stitched together from metal and flesh. Its eyes glowed like fire. The monsters in the tunnels were nothing compared to this. Tali screamed and backed away. The mother shouted, "Run!" But Cole didn't run. He stepped in front of Tali, shielded her with his body, and aimed his gun. The beast stared at him. Then, it spoke, a voice like thunder. "Leave." Cole froze. The creature had a voice? "Let them go," Cole said, not lowering his weapon. "They are mine," the beast growled. "They live because I allow it." Tali sobbed behind Cole. The creature stepped closer. The ground shook. With each footstep, Cole's hand trembled. He had no plan, no backup, no help. Just a tiny alien child who had trusted him, and a mother trapped in a cage. He couldn't fail them. He raised his voice. "You want to eat me? Go ahead. But you don't. Touch them." The beast stopped. It stared at him. Then something strange happened. It sniffed the air. Then looked at Tali. Its expression changed. Pain, confusion, almost sorrow. Tali walked past Cole, shaking, and stood before the monster. She reached out a tiny hand, touched its leg. "Please," she said, voice tiny. "Let Mama go." The monster didn't move. Then it turned and walked away, back into the shadows, and the cage door clicked open. The tunnel of bones. The cage door swung open with a soft hiss. Cole rushed forward and caught Tali's mother as she fell into his arms. Her body was cold, weak, bones pressing under skin. But she was alive. Her lips moved, but no words came. Just tears. Tali wrapped her arms around her mother and cried into her chest. "Mama?" The alien woman, trembling, lifted her hand and touched Tali's cheek. "My baby." Cole looked around. The chamber was still quiet. The giant creature had vanished, but the silence felt heavy, like something was waiting, watching. "We can't stay here," Cole said quickly. "Can you walk?" The mother shook her head. Cole didn't hesitate. He lifted her onto his back, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. She was light, too light for someone her size. Starvation had stolen her strength. Tali held Cole's arm, tightly. "Where now?" He looked at the tunnel behind them. "Not the way we came." The beasts were still there, waiting, hoping they'd return. He turned toward a darker path that split off from the chamber. It sloped downward like it led deep underground. "We go this way," he said. Tali didn't question him. The new tunnel was colder and silent. Cole's boots echoed as he walked. The only sound was Tali's light steps behind him. The air grew, thick and heavy, like walking through water. The light on his belt flickered. Then they saw it. Bones. Dozens. Hundreds. Lining the tunnel like decorations. Some were small, others massive. Alien skeletons piled high. Skull shapes Cole had never seen before. Too many to count. Tali gasped. Her mother whispered something. Cole stopped walking. "What is this place?" Tali looked up. The old way, only for the dying. Cole shivered. This tunnel wasn't a path to freedom, it was a grave. He almost turned back, but heard it again. A sound. Not growling, crying. Another child's voice. Very faint, very far. Tali grabbed his arm. "Others?" Cole's eyes narrowed. "You're not the only one?" She nodded. He turned to her mother. "Are there more children?" She gave a small, weak nod. Cole's stomach twisted. "How many were down here?" "And why?" They kept walking. The bones grew thicker. Soon, the walls themselves were made of stacked skeletons. The light on Cole's belt died. Darkness swallowed them whole. Then soft blue lights lit the path, glowing veins in the bones. The same, ancient symbols from before. They guided them forward. Cole whispered, "This place was built by someone, not monsters." Tali looked up. "Ancients." Cole frowned. "You mean your ancestors?" She nodded. "Before the war, before the hunger." Suddenly the tunnel opened into another chamber. and what Cole saw made him stop cold. Cages, dozens of them, lined up like prison cells. Inside, small figures, alien children, silent, sitting, eyes dull, skin thin. Tally ran forward. "Lyra, baby!" 2 of the children jumped up and ran to the bars. Their eyes lit up. They called Tally's name again and again. Cole ran to the cages. "No locks," he muttered. "Just glowing seals." He looked at Tally. "You can open them?" Tally stepped forward, placed her hand on the seals. They faded. One cage opened. Then the next. Then the next. Children stumbled out, some crying, some too weak to speak. There were 10 of them. 10. Cole stood in shock. Why? Why are they here? Tally's mother coughed behind him. "Food. For the beast." Cole stared at her. She looked down. "It feeds on fear, on sadness. It traps the young, the weak. It watches them die slowly. That's how it survives." Cole felt his stomach turn. He looked at the children. Some held each other. Others looked at him with hollow eyes. He made a choice. "No more," he said. He turned to the others. "I'm getting you out." Then a rumble shook the chamber. The ground trembled and a roar echoed through the tunnels. The beast had returned. And this time, it was angry. The monster that guards her. The ground shook again, this time stronger. Dust fell from the tunnel ceiling. Cole's heart pounded. The children clung to each other, frozen in fear. Tally grabbed her mother's hand and the wounded woman pulled her close. Then they heard it. The growl. It didn't echo. It didn't come from one place. It came from everywhere. Cole raised his plasma pistol again, his grip tight. The light from the alien walls flickered, growing dimmer. Then from the far end of the bone tunnel it came. The monster. Not crawling, not sneaking. This time it walked straight toward them, tall and proud, like a king returning to his throne. Glowing red eyes, bone armor fused into skin, clawed arms that dragged sparks across the walls. Its chest rose and fell slowly, like it wasn't angry. It was disappointed. Cole stepped in front of the children. "Stay behind me," he said, voice low. The monster's deep voice echoed. "You broke the seal. You stole from me." Tally trembled. "They are not yours." The monster's head tilted. "They were left. No one came. No one cared. So I kept them." Cole didn't lower his weapon. "They're going home." The beast laughed, a dry, cracking sound. "What home? Their world is dust. Their cities are ash. Even their own kind forgot them." Cole didn't move. "I didn't." The monster stared at him for a long moment. Then it charged. Cole fired. 1, 2, 3 plasma blasts hit the creature's chest. But the monster didn't stop. It slammed into Cole like a wall of metal, throwing him across the chamber. He hit the ground hard, pain shooting through his ribs. Tally screamed. The children cried out. The beast reached for them. Then it froze. A single sound stopped it. Singing. Soft. Broken. But real. Tally's mother sat on the floor, her arms around 2 children, singing a lullaby in her ancient alien tongue. Her voice cracked. Weak. But it was full of love. The monster stopped mid-step. Its eyes blinked, its breathing slowed. Cole, lying on the ground, stared in disbelief. "What's happening?" Tally whispered. "It remembers." The monster looked down at its own hand, long, deadly claws that had taken so much. Then for a moment its shape began to shift. The bone armor faded, the red in its eyes softened, and underneath was a face, old, worn, sad. Not just a beast, a guardian, once a protector of these children, now twisted by war, and time, and hunger. Cole stood slowly. "You were meant to protect them." The beast didn't speak. It knelt down, looked at Tally, and placed something on the ground, a glowing sphere, full of swirling lights. Tally stepped forward and picked it up. Her eyes widened. "It's the path." Cole moved beside her. "What is it?" "A door," she said. "A way out." The monster, guardian, nodded once, then slowly turned and walked back into the tunnel. Not angry, not hungry, just tired. It disappeared into the darkness. The walls glowed again, brighter than before. The sphere in Tali's hands pulsed with soft blue light. Cole looked at her, then at the children. "Let's get you home." Fire, blood, and mercy. The tunnel glowed blue, lighting the path forward. Tali held the sphere tight, its light pulsing with every heartbeat. The children followed behind her, holding hands, weak but hopeful. Cole helped carry Tali's mother, who whispered directions softly, guiding them toward the door the monster had spoken of. But the silence didn't last long. A screech tore through the tunnels. Not from the guardian. Something else. Cole turned fast, his gut twisting. From the side tunnel, smaller monsters crawled out, dozens of them, thin, sharp, and starving. Creatures of the deep. They had been hiding while the guardian ruled. Now that he was gone, they were free, and they were hungry. "Tali, run," Cole shouted. She froze. One of the beasts lunged. Cole fired. The plasma blast burned the thing's chest, but more came. He grabbed a metal pipe from the ground and swung hard, knocking two creatures away from the kids. The children screamed. Tali's mother tried to crawl, pushing two smaller kids behind her, but she had no strength left. Then, Cole saw a dark shape above. A beast clung to the ceiling, dropping straight toward Tali. Cole threw his body forward and tackled her to the ground, rolling just as claws slashed through the air where her head had been. "Go," he growled. "No," she cried. "I'm not leaving you." He shoved the sphere into her hands. "Find the door. Save the others." Tears ran down her face, but she nodded. Tali ran. The kids followed her, screaming but moving. The monsters chased. Cole stood in the middle of the tunnel, breathing hard. He was out of shots, bleeding from his shoulder. His leg hurt, but he had one thing left: fire. He reached into his pack and pulled out a thermal charge, a mining tool made to cut through steel. If he set it right, it could ignite the tunnel and collapse it behind the children, or trap him with the beasts. He pressed the button. A red light blinked. 60 seconds. The beasts hissed and crawled closer. Cole turned to them, smiling through the pain. "Come on then," he said. "Come get me." Tali reached the tunnel's end. The sphere pulsed faster. A stone wall stood before them, but the sphere floated from her hands and hovered in the air. The alien symbols lit up across the surface. A door appeared, shimmering blue energy. The children stared in awe. "Where is he?" one of them asked. Tali looked back. Smoke now filled the path. Heat. The rumble of collapsing stone. "He's not coming, is he?" another child whispered. Then they heard it. A scream. Not a child's. Not a monster's. Cole's. Tali turned around and ran back. Cole stood inside, a ring of fire. Bodies of monsters burned around him. He had wounds across his arms, one eye swollen shut. But he was alive. Barely, and still swinging, still protecting. Then he saw her. "Tali?" he gasped. "No, get out of here." She didn't listen. She ran to him, grabbed his hand and pulled hard. "Come with me. The door is open." More beasts crawled over the walls. Cole staggered. "Tali, if I leave, they'll follow, then burn it." She placed the glowing sphere in his hand. The blue light turned white. Cole didn't know how, but the sphere now burned hot in his grip. Alive. Like it had chosen him. He turned, threw it into the flames. The tunnel exploded in light. The fire turned, blue, then white, then silence. The beasts screamed as their bodies disintegrated, and the walls collapsed. Cole shielded Tali with his body as stone and bone rained down. Heat burned the air, then stillness. No more growls, no more crawling monsters, only ash. Minutes later, the children stood outside the portal. Tali and Cole stepped out, covered in soot. The alien mother reached for them, tears on her cheeks. "You came back," she whispered to Cole. He looked at her. "I said I would." Tali ran to the other kids, hugging them, laughing and crying. Behind them, the tunnel sealed shut forever. The monsters were gone, and the children were free. Escape under stars. The stars. Cold, bright, endless. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, Tali and the children stood beneath the open sky. Their feet touched dry soil, not metal. The wind touched their faces, not with heat but with cool, gentle air. The war-torn world above was still broken, but to them, it felt like freedom. Cole stepped out last, carrying Tali's weak mother on his back. His steps were slow, painful. His arms were scraped, his shirt half burned, and blood dried on his jaw. But he was alive, and so were they. "Where are we?" one of the children whispered. Cole looked up at the sky. "We're out," he said, "and that's enough for now." Tali held her mother's hand. The woman was barely conscious but smiled softly at the stars. "We're not underground anymore," she whispered. But then, a sound in the distance. Engines. Harsh, fast, coming closer. Cole's eyes narrowed. He turned toward the dark horizon and saw lights, not from the stars, but from a low hovering vehicle kicking up dust. Fast-moving, military style. He cursed under his breath. Pirate patrol. The same ones who left this planet ruined. The same ones who traded survivors for scraps. If they saw the children, it was over. Cole looked at Tali. "Get the kids to cover, now." Tali pointed to a crack in a nearby cliff. "There." The children ran, helping one another while Cole and Tali dragged the mother behind a large rock. The ship stopped nearby. Boots hit the ground. Voices, alien, cruel, laughing. Cole peeked over the rock. 3 armored figures scanned the area with weapons. One spoke. Scanner showed movement, life signs. Another answered, "Could be worth credits if they're alive." They were hunting. Cole turned to Tali. "They'll find us, unless we distract them." "I'll go," Tali whispered. "What? No. They don't know me. I can lie. I can pretend to be alone." Cole grabbed her shoulder. "No, it's too dangerous." Tali's eyes were steady. "You saved me. Let me save you." Before Cole could answer, she stood and walked into the open. The pirates turned, their guns raised, but then paused. A small alien girl stood before them, alone, dirty, shaking, her hands up. I'm lost," she said in their language. "I was hiding underground. I just got out." One of them laughed. "Well, what do we have here? A survivor." Another moved closer. "Are you the only one?" Tali nodded quickly. "Yes, I'm alone." The pirate grabbed her arm. "Boss'll want to see this." Cole's heart raced. He gripped his pistol but didn't move. Not yet. Then something strange happened. As the pirate touched Tali's skin, the glowing blue marks from the tunnels reappeared on her arms. The man recoiled. "What the?" "She's marked," the other shouted. "Tunnelborn." "She's cursed." They backed away fast. Tali stood still, quiet. The third pirate, clearly the leader, didn't flinch. "I don't care what symbols glow on her skin. She's valuable. Load her in." A sharp whistle rang through the air. Then, a blast. Cole fired from the rocks, striking the leader in the shoulder. The pirates scattered. The children cried out. Cole ran forward, shouting, "Now, Tali!" Tali spun and ducked, running full speed as gunfire ripped through the dust. The pirate she tricked aimed his weapon, but a stone slammed into his helmet, thrown by one of the children. The moment gave Cole enough time to reach her. He scooped Tali up, rolled behind cover, and fired again, forcing the pirates back to their ship. "They're not worth it," one yelled. "She's just one kid. Leave them." The pirates cursed, climbed into the vehicle, and vanished into the night sky. Silence returned. Cole dropped his weapon, breathing hard. Tally sat beside him, shaking. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "You're braver than anyone I've met," he said. She smiled. "You taught me." They returned to the others. Tally's mother was awake now, just enough to whisper, "You're safe?" Tally kissed her forehead. "We are." Cole looked around at the quiet children, at the stars above, at the horizon ahead. Then he saw it, a tiny, blinking light. A rescue beacon, old, buried, half crushed in the dirt. He picked it up, dusted it, off and flipped the switch. A blue light blinked, signal sent. Home was calling back. A new family, a new world. The beacon blinked. Blue, 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 then green. Cole stared at the tiny device in his hand, dust still clinging to it. A green light meant someone saw the signal. Somewhere in the sky, help was coming. He looked up at the stars, wondering if the rescue ship would come in time, or if pirates would return first. But for now, they had hope. The children lay huddled together near the cliff wall. Tally's mother leaned against a rock, breathing slow but steady. Her fingers were thin, but she held Tally's hand tightly, as if she'd never let go again. Cole sat near the fire he'd built from old scrap and dried plants. He stared into the flames, silent. He had come to this ruined world for scrap, junk, to earn credits. Instead, he'd found something more valuable than any tech. He found a purpose. Hours passed. Then, the sky shimmered. A silver dot appeared far above. It grew larger, faster than any pirate ship. Sleek, bright, with a human symbol painted on its side. Tally gasped. "That's yours?" Cole nodded slowly. "One of the colony rescue ships. Automated. It must have heard the beacon." The children stood up one by one, blinking at the light. The ship landed softly on the flat ground, lights scanning the group. The door opened with a hiss. A calm, robotic voice spoke. "Survivors detected. Medical aid on board. Please enter in groups of 5. Cole stood. "Go," he said. "Get inside. You're safe now." But Tally didn't move. She looked up at him. "Aren't you coming?" He smiled softly. "In a second." She frowned. "You're going to leave again, aren't you?" Her voice was small. Cole's smile faded. "I didn't think I'd make it off this planet," he said. "I came here alone. I always worked alone. That's just how I lived." Tally's eyes shimmered. "Not anymore." He looked down at her, then at the other children, each one of them looking at him with quiet hope. A few months ago, he was just a scavenger. Now, they looked at him like he was something more. A protector. A father. Family. He knelt in front of Tally. "Do you want me to come with you?" She nodded. "Even if it's not my world?" She squeezed his hand. "It is now." Inside the rescue ship, the children were cleaned, fed, and treated. The ship's AI sent messages back to the human colonies. 10 alien children found. 1. Adult female, human male survivor. Trauma level, high. Emotional bonds detected. Possible guardianship match. Processing. Cole sat beside Tally, now dressed in clean fabric. Her hair was brushed, her eyes clearer. She leaned her head on his shoulder. "I had a father once," she said quietly. "But he ran away during the fire. He didn't come back." Cole didn't say anything. She looked up at him. "You came back." He nodded. "And I always will." The AI's voice returned. "New home approved. Transporting to Earth-based sanctuary zone." Cole blinked. "Earth?" The children clapped. Tally's mother, resting on a med bed, gave Cole a tired smile. "They will need a home, and someone strong." Cole stood. "Then that's what I'll give them." Weeks later, the group stood on a green field under a blue sky. No bones. No cages. No monsters. Just soft grass, warm wind, and peace. Cole helped build their small house. Tali planted flowers by the door. The other children played in the sunshine, laughing like they were never broken. People came from nearby towns, curious, unsure. But when they saw the children laugh, when they heard their stories, they brought food, clothes, blankets. One man knelt in front of Cole. "They call you father, you know." Cole smiled. "I'm okay with that." Inside the house, on a simple wooden wall, hung an old piece of scrap metal. Carved into it were glowing blue lines, the symbols from the tunnels. Tali said they meant, "Home is the one who stays." Cole believed that now. He wasn't alone anymore, and neither were they.